I started mosaicing when we moved into this house because the garden was so bare. There was nothing, not a single plant. And while waiting for things to grow and for it to take shape, I just thought I would mosaic some pots to give it a bit of colour. It was weird because when I first started doing it, I immediately felt like had sort of, I don't know, hit some sort of deep memory because when I was young, I used to get sick a lot and get really high fevers. And every time I had high fevers, I always had the same dream of a man standing on the foot of my bed doing star jumps with all these lines and dots that were getting bigger and smaller all around him. And I had that dream a million times, and I always kind of wondered what it meant. And then when I started tiling and was suddenly involved in this kind of hypnotic, mindless lines and dots, I suddenly realized, well, I don't know if it's true, but I just felt like that had something to do with that dream. It just felt right. It just resonated. I don't know. I just enjoyed the sort of altered state you get into when you're just sticking and gluing for hours, where 8 hours can go by in a flash because you just focused on one thing. That wall outside took, I think it took about 2 months, and that was all day, every day. But I never really think about how long they take because I just keep going till they're finished. Really, it doesn't matter. I'm not on any sort of schedule with them, and I'm not trying to work to anybody else's schedule. I don't sell them or try to sell them, so it's just the process. I've got three little dogs, and I love sitting out in the garden and just hanging out with the dogs, having a cup of tea, watching the birds. I've got bird feeders, there's loads of birds. And I've sort of overplanted it so that I don't have to see the neighbours or hear them, even though the garden is tiny. It's just a courtyard. I wish I'd bought a place with a bigger garden. Um, but yeah, just tried to make it secluded and nice place to sit and do nothing really. I have a little shed in the garden. Um, I think it's meant to be a garage, but I just use it to store tiles and do things out there and make things. Had some skylights put into the roof in order to get a bit more light out there, and it's a nice place to work. Sometimes I collect little bits and pieces from a certain place or time or event and make a little mosaic to commemorate something. Like when my brother died, I made a little sort of small tray with just all the bits and pieces that got sent to me when he died, just like trinkets and things, but they all look nice in a mosaic. I don't try to do anything with any of this stuff because I don't want to get caught up in that game. But they're kind of I've made so many that I've started burying them in the front garden just because there's I don't know what else to do with them. The back garden's full. All my friends' gardens are full, and so yeah, I've started burying them. So someday someone will buy this house and start digging and get a nice surprise or bad surprise. When I bought this house, I knew someday I'd have to sell it. I know it's not my last house, and that's been really hard because I would like to just mosaic everything, tile everything, every inch of it, and outside and every surface. That I would really enjoy. I could just keep going. So I've tried to be restrained because I know I have to sell it one day and I don't want to ruin it. But obviously, it has crept in. It's in the kitchen, the bathroom. Well, it's in a lot of places actually. But someday when I move house, hopefully I'll get a place that I know I'll stay forever. And I'm going to tile the whole thing. There's been way too much chaos in my life over the years, and I'm 56 now, and I'm finally in a place where I can do what I want, and I don't care what other people think, and I don't care if my art is good or bad, it doesn't matter. And I'm just happy to be out of the rat race and to not care anymore. Do my own thing. It's about time.